here we go. The last Q&A of 2025. We're here and we managed it. There you go. Good. So let's crack on and see what we've got for you today, or what you've got for me today, which is pretty much more the way it is, really, because it's you that's asking the questions and I answer them. So these sessions are driven by you, really, because it's you telling me what it is you want to know. And I just hang around for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. And deal with whatever it is you want to ask me. So, hey, what do you want to know? Because this is the last one before, what is it, the 5th or 6th of January? First Monday in January is the next one I'll be. Next week, well, my Christmas holidays. So there we are. What do you want to know? Property finance questions. What finance questions do you want me to answer? Just let me know what you want to do. Just pop it in the chat, whether you're coming in through YouTube, through LinkedIn, or through a couple of my property finance pages, whichever you're coming in. That's great. So ask a question. So what have we been up to? I was down in Bristol last week for a few days. It was Ninja Achievers week. So the two groups I've got running on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, we met up for their monthly accountability day. So in November, they told me a list of things that they would get done by the December meeting. So in their hot seat slot for each group, because there's only a handful in each group, they got to tell me, right, okay, here's what you said you were going to do. Tell us how you got on. And they all agree that it's a massive call to action, really, because no one wants to be the person that feels like they let the team down. And one particular person on the Wednesday group said they just moved hell and earth in the last 7 days because life got in the way, which it often does. Life got in the way in the early part of that 4-week period, and they didn't get much done, but they worked like stink in that last 7 days so they could come to the Wednesday meeting and say, well, yes, I did what I said I was going to do. So, yeah, this works. They're only small cohorts. This is a 12-month mentorship. Ninja Achievers is my 12-month mentorship program. I've been running twice a year since 2018. So, got a question? What do you want to know? Fire it in the chat box. Pop your question in there and I'll deal with it as soon as you put it in there. I'm going to hang around for probably till about 9 o'clock-ish, depending on how many questions. So, hey, if you're watching this and you're thinking, no, I don't want to wait until the first week of January to get an answer, fire it in there today. So we've got a question coming in now, so we're going to do that. There we are. Looks like Rahia. There we are. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Most of the houses are old. Is it worth renovating, refurbishing, or put a deposit on a new property? Well, that depends. It depends on what your objective is. If you just want to buy ready to rent and you don't want to do any work and you've got plenty of money, have you got plenty of money, Rahia? Can you afford to put 25% down and then put another 25% down on the next one you want to buy, and the one after that, and the one after that? If you have, amazing. You'd be one of very few people that can do that. But if you can, great. And if you don't want to do any work, even better. Just do that. Now, if that's not you, if you haven't got, a big 6 figures cash in your bank account ready to do that, then no, it's not worth putting a deposit down on a new property, because you're just going to chew up a big chunk of cash and you have to leave it in there for several years until the property naturally goes up in value. So, you know, you probably lock that property, that money in that property for at least 5 years, if not more. And bear in mind this other thing as well with brand new properties. They're like brand new cars. So they lose value as soon as you buy them. If you're buying a brand new property on a brand new estate, a lot of mortgage lenders, valuers actually send their valuer out with the instruction to knock 10% off whatever you're paying for it. So they're only going to lend you 25% of 90% of what you're buying. So actually, you're not going to put a 25% down. It's probably closer to 35%. Because mortgage lenders understand that brand new houses lose money. Because they're people that want to buy brand new houses will pay over the odds to get a brand new house. As a landlord, as an investor, absolutely no reason to do that whatsoever. And the worst thing you can do that, worst thing is to buy off plan before it's even built. Because then you've got no guarantee that you're going to buy a property at all, because the developer could go bust, and they do. As you can imagine, construction can be stressful. Yeah, I get that. Absolutely, it can. Finding the right builder can be stressful. Absolutely, it can. So, you know, sometimes you might want to look at different ways of buying property. So, you know, one of the things I teach people to do, and maybe you've been watching some of my, coming through YouTube, so maybe you watch some of my YouTube videos, is find a problem property that most people don't want to buy. Now, if you're really cautious about getting into renovations, and I fully understand why you would be if that's not the world you come from, look for properties with problems that don't need resolving. Now, you know, one, and I'm going to give you an indication here. Here's something that there's loads of flats. There's loads of flats in every town, every city in the UK. And a lot of these flats are in really nice condition. They've just got one problem. They've got a short lease. They've got a lease that's probably about 50 years. Now, mortgage lenders don't like that, and they're very reluctant to lend on those type of, and actually people don't like buying them because they're unsure of how to extend the lease, or not only unsure, they don't know what it's going to cost, and it's a bit of a scary thought. But all you've got to do is to find a good solicitor that knows how to do it and know how to price it up. You know, I've been teaching people for the last 10 years. I've been teaching people for the last 10 years. So we just got a bit of a troll coming in here. So we're going to get rid of that nasty little man that's coming here. So there we are. We just got rid of him. You don't have to come in here and troll, do you? Why would you want to do that? So there we are. So thank you. Well, you're welcome. Look, let me go back to what I was saying. Find properties with a short lease that don't need any work doing to them, and you can find them wherever you live. Understand the process of extending the lease and the cost of extending the lease. You'll have very little competition to buy them, and you can make good money on the uplift in value. Then you can decide to sell it or rent it out, whichever you want to. So there we are. Good. So thanks for your question. Nice of you to put a question in there. Thank you very much. Don't recall seeing you on here before, so maybe it's your first time watching this. Hey, we'll come back in the new year. I'll be doing this pretty much every Monday. apart from holidays and bank holidays and all that sort of thing. So come back with some more questions. That'd be great. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Good to see you. There we are. So what do you think about setting up a revolving credit facility to use when you need to buy a deal quickly? These are marketed by the likes of Alternative Bridging. Yeah, I know they are. Brilliant idea. If you're going to be active, in property, one of the things I teach, Steph, it's a few years since you did my course, so you're probably a bit out of date with my training now. Why don't you book in for a refresher? So let's have a chat about how we could get you into a refresher course. And because a lot of people come back and do it again after a few years. And so there's quite a few bits that maybe weren't part of the course when you did it a few years ago. That was pre-COVID, wasn't it? Let's talk about that. But revolving credit facility, great idea, because you can set it up for 2 years. You can put money in and out as many times as you like, in part or in whole. And if you're going to be active and buy multiple properties in that 2-year period, it's really sensible to do. Don't be doing it if you're just going to buy one property in the next 2 years, though, because you're not going to get the value from doing it. So if you really want to be active, and when you want to buy a deal quick, because it can put you in the position, as long as you've got a good solicitor, can put you in the position of really offering a 7-day completion. Massively powerful. And I know some of my other mentees have set this up, a revolving credit facility, and they do literally complete deals in 7 days. And guess what? They get them at a much better price, because agents know that if they get I'll tell you where I've seen this used most recently, in a chain break situation. So chain of buyers, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once one person's buyer drops out, and the whole chain can come crashing down. Now that person is supremely motivated to take a lower offer to keep their chain going, and the more attached they are to the property they want to buy and they've had their offer accepted on, the less worried they are about the price they pay. Now, the last one I was involved in, one of my mentees, they had an offer accepted, which was probably about 15% below the asking price, but they dropped another 20% to get it completed in 7 days once their buyer pulled out, because they were going to lose their dream house. So I think it puts you in a massively powerful position, Steph. These revolving credit facilities charge a non-utilisation fee when you're in use. Absolutely, they do. You've got to pay each month that you're not using it, not the full amount, but there's a proportionate amount, which is why I'm saying if you're going to be doing one deal in the next 2 years, don't be setting it up. If you're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6 deals in the next 2 years, then that's the sort of facility you need, because you're going to pay for the cost of it by the deals you do and the prices you buy them at. So, Waleed, hello there. Good to see you. Haven't seen you come in before. Is it good to invest money in your house? Are you talking about the house you live in? Generally people do make the property they're living in look better. It depends what you want to do to it. If you just want to spend money putting a new kitchen in there, as long as if your kitchen is serviceable, you're probably not going to have much money. But if you're going to do an extension or create living space, additional living space, yeah. So I guess if you want to invest money in the house you live in and make it more valuable, you have to ask yourself what you want to do, and is it going to add value? I mean, if you want to, I don't know, redo the drive or something. That's not going to add any value at all. So let's, if you want to be a bit more specific, come back with a more specific question. I'll be very happy to answer that. Richard, there we are. Great advice as usual. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Always try to give sensible advice. I'm not one of these rah, happy clappy type of people. It's just not my thing. But I do give common sense advice where people can actually benefit and make profit. Are you running your BRR courses in the new year? Well, actually, I am. I'm doing something. I think I don't know I've ever done it before. I'm going to run 4 BRR boardrooms in January. Richard, let me pop the link up on here for you. And I'm going to run one in Bristol. No, not Bristol. I'm going to do one in Cardiff, actually, for a change. There we are. Let's check the spelling. And while we're chatting about this, Richard, I'll pop this up on here for you. Here we are, brboardroom.com. You can just book in. While you're considering that, let me tell you. So I'm going to be doing one in Cardiff, Birmingham, Leeds, and London, all in the back half of January, last 2 weeks of January. I don't normally do this, but I think I'm doing it because it's my reaction to the budget. Now, I noticed the same thing this autumn as I did last autumn, and that is such negativity was coming out from the government about the tax rises and where the tax rises were going to fall, that people felt almost paralyzed from taking action. Last year, 2024, the budget was on October the 30th, and I saw this paralysis of decision making in the lead up throughout the whole month of October. No one was moving a muscle until they got, some clarity on how bad it was going to be. And like most things, it was classic expectation management. We're going to scare the living daylights out of you. So when we actually publish it, you breathe a sigh of relief and think, could have been a lot worse. Now, whether you think a government should be run like that or not is another issue entirely. But that's what was going on, and did exactly the same this year. Loads of potential tax rises. We're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they were threatening to put tax rises in all sorts of things. So again, paralysis, saw this all the way through. But it was a month later this year, wasn't it? It wasn't until the end of November, not the end of October. And the same sort of paralysis. And look, I get it. I understand it. Until you know how much extra tax you're going to pay, it's difficult to make commitments to do anything. So, I saw a flood of bookings in 2024 during November, because once from the 1st of November, people have got the measure of, this is what the budget means. Okay, I can now make decisions. And so people started booking in for events. But with it being the end of November, it's too late to do anything, isn't it? So I'm running 4 boardrooms in January, so that people who were looking to book into one of these events, like you are, Richard, so that people booking into one of these events haven't got to wait until June, because I wasn't planning to do any till June. And I thought, no, let me run 4 in January. So what can you get from a BRR boardroom, Richard, and anyone else that happens to be watching this? Well, you'll get a whole day. Now, boardrooms are a new style of BRR event, maximum 10 people in a room. So it's small, it's intimate, and it's personal. So I'll be spending time working on your stuff, Richard. And it also comes with 2 pre-event Zoom sessions in the evening. First one, we do a BRR deal finder. So I'll show you how easy it is to find great BRR deals in your area. And I did one for one of these in November. The guy messaged me the following day and said, I've just found 23 deals in my area, potential BRR deals. And he said, it took me less than half an hour. So this is really like gold dust. And then a couple of nights later, before you come to the event, Richard, we do a BRR deal clinic. So we can drill down, look at some of those deals and evaluate if they're going to work and how to make them work on BRR. So there we are. So just go on to brrboardroom.com, pick one of those 4 events, whichever one's closest to you, whichever one day's work. And I'll look forward to seeing you there, Richard. And we'll kick off 2026 in a really positive way. So thank you. Steph, I know you did. I know you paid for the BR event, never got an invite with login details. Can you rebook me? Not until you subscribe, I can't. I sent you an email explaining that you removed my permission to contact you a couple of years ago. So you need to resubscribe. When you resubscribe, you'll get the emails. So I did email you a week or so ago on that. So just check that out. It's not me, it's GDPR rules. Crazy, I know, but I've got to follow them. And if someone unsubscribes, like you did, I can't contact you. I can't email. I don't have your permission to email you. So just go on to Recycle Your Cash and resubscribe, and then you'll get it. And as I say, check the email I sent you where I explained it all. So where are we now? Have I missed one? There we go. Oh, we got one from now. But a few questions. Got a question you've been thinking of? Don't wait until after the new year. Fire it in, and I'll deal with it before we go. JC's back. Hello, JC. Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Got a planning question. Okay, good. Not my area of expertise, and I might give you a link to go to. Let's read what the question is first. If an owner-occupier makes a change to the front of the house that requires planning, without planning, can they request for planning post-completion of the work? They can. It's called a certificate of lawfulness. Or will the council request them to remove the change? They can do, not will, can. They can say, we don't like what you've done to the front of your house. It affects the street view. It doesn't fit in with the street. You'll get an enforcement notice to put it back to how it was before you made the change. So, it's a pretty dumb move when you think about it. When you know you've got to get planning and you don't get planning, now there are, and I've seen cases reported during this year. There was someone that just built a whole new front on, they brought the front of the property out. Council put an enforcement order saying take it down. Now, how stupid is it to spend tens of thousands of pounds to then spend tens of thousands of pounds more getting having to demolish what you put in. So yeah, they will do that. So planners, look, there's this saying, isn't there? Better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Yeah. Not with planning applications, not with property, not with planning in the UK. It's better to ask for permission to do it first. So if it needs planning, get the planning done. There we are. So that was pretty okay there. Good. So scroll down. Ah, yes. There you go. See, Steph. So can I join? Yeah, absolutely. I'll put you into the cycle of the 18th. We're running one this Thursday, and we've actually just had someone sign up this morning. So yeah, put you in that. Good. Okay, so we've got a LinkedIn user saying, "Good morning, Kev. Good morning." Now, why isn't their name coming up? Because LinkedIn, Facebook used to do this. Don't see much of this now. but Facebook used to do this, where you have to give permission to disclose your identity. And if you forget to do that, or the box doesn't come up, then it just comes up as LinkedIn user. I can check in later and see who commented, so that's not too hard. There we are. You're very welcome, Steph. And I know we've been chatting over the last. See, you can call me and I'll answer it, because that's not GDPR. But emails, GDPR compliant. So morning, have you got a question, or are you just saying good morning? If you're just saying good morning, well, thanks for watching. So there we are. And hey, look, I haven't told you about this, have I? Look, pitchfreenetworking.com. 10th of January in Heathrow, I'm going to on an amazing event. Wayne, wow, how you doing, Wayne? It's now there's to use a phrase, blast from the past. So I know you trained with me absolutely years ago. Great, well, good to be in contact. So thanks for watching. Don't know whether this is the first one of these you've caught, or whether you just lurk around watching them most weeks. I don't really care which, really. Always happy to sort of lurk in the background and just watch what goes on. In fact, most people do that. Absolutely fine. So there we are. If you have got a question, Wayne, fire it in. Love to answer it for you. So Pitch Free Networking, 10th of January, Saturday, Heathrow, whole day of networking, no pitching, my guarantee. No one's going to pitch you to buy training or other stuff. So it's pure networking, pure, simple, unadulterated networking. Runs from about 9:30 till 5, and you've got 5 hours of networking, including a 2-hour lunch. So it's usually about 40, 50, sometimes 60. I think a couple of years ago, we got about 80 people there. So it's a big networking event, but you get enough time actual networking to talk to pretty much everyone in the room. And I'm there. It's a really easy day for me. I'm just MC. So I've got loads of time to talk to people. And it's one of the things I do. So book yourself in, pitchfreenetworking.com. You can see it just down there. There we are, pitchfreenetworking.com. Come along. Still got loads of excuse me. Still got loads of tickets available. So grab yourself a ticket. It's unbelievable. And you won't want to miss these 2 mentee case studies. One of my mentees, Paul, he's done a BRR deal, and it's one of the best ones I've seen in recent years. Bought it in July, got his money out in November. Not only did he get his 25% deposit back, not only did he get his refurb money back, he got both of those, and he got 18k cash out as well. Come along and find out exactly how he did it. He's going to spill the beans. I'm going to interview him. You can talk to him. He's going to be there most of the day, if not all the day. Talk to him. Who's the second one? Nilesh. Nilesh is an award-winning investor. He won the auction deal of the year. And again, it was a great BRR deal. So I'm going to ask Nilesh to unpack. I'm going to interview him. I'm going to ask him to unpack exactly how he got a property-winning, award-winning auction deal. Come along. There we are. BRR networking. Paid for your lunch. I've paid for your parking as well. It's an amazing day. Thanks. You book on one. Amazing. I look forward to meeting you in January. Need to stop procrastinating and take some action. Absolutely. But the key thing is knowing what action to take, because the natural thing is to take no action for fear of taking the wrong action. And that's probably where you've been up till now, Richard. And that's perfectly understandable. It's not a bad idea, actually. But getting some direction on what you should be doing and what it's safe and correct to be doing, that's what moves you from procrastination to action. And look, I don't know how close you are to Heathrow and whether you're free on Saturday, 10th of January. But before, book into the boardroom, whichever one of those. But also, if you're free on 10th of January, come and talk to a load of people that have done boardrooms and high levels of training with me, and listen to their stories. They'll talk to you. They'll tell you honestly what they've done, what they've achieved. You know, there's no big boastful people. We don't really get those at my events. People that are full of themselves and, you know, bigging themselves up to be the big iron. We don't get that. But I watch out for your booking on the boardroom. But hey, why don't you come along to pitchfreenetworking.com as well? That'll be a hugely influential day for you. And there we are. So, Wayne, here we are. So you just completed on a commercial site with WP. Okay, so they're the brokerage that I'm affiliated with. Used to be a shareholder there, but there we are. I still work very, very closely with them. So you competed on a commercial site. Quick question: how quickly can we apply for redevelopment finance once the plan is granted? ASAP. So I guess you got it on a commercial mortgage, have you? So yeah, you can apply for development finance soon as that. You know, that'll be Trinity being the brokerage will do that. So as soon as you get it, keep in touch with Trinity. Tell her what you're doing, and she'll help you get redevelopment finance. But good to see you've bought a property, and I think commercial is a very underused sector of the market. So well done for that. Good. What else can we tell you about today? We're coming to a very quiet time of the year because I'm just, with the exception of these boardrooms, which is I don't usually do. I shut down running events in the early part of the year because I'm supporting the people that jumped on board in the autumn. And this year I'm going to shut down at the end of January, a bit later than normal. And I'm going to put my support behind the people that jump on. So anyone that jumps on from the boardroom wants to work with me and wants me to mentor them. So I'll be putting all my efforts into supporting those. Because do you know why? Because it works. Very simple. That's all. It just works. I don't want to be taking on new people all year round, and I don't. Big chunks of the year, I'm shut to taking on new people. I don't run events, and because I've got people that I need to support, and it works really well. So let's give you I want to join a community that actually thinks along these sort of lines. Let's tell you about my Recycle Your Cash group. There's over 3,000 people in there. And it's a great way for keeping up to date with what I'm doing. I've actually posted in there over the last couple of days. I don't know if you're in there, Richard, but I've posted in there in the last couple of days about these BRR boardroom events that I'm running. Let's pop this in here, pop your link, and why not come and join if you're not in there already. Pop a link in there. Now, got a question? You need to be quick with it because I'm going to be wrapping this up pretty soon. I've done my 30 minutes that I say I'll do. There we are. So facebook.com/groups/recycle your cash. So there we are. Come along and join me in there. And so when I come back in the first Monday of January, it will be the last opportunity that week to book in for the pitchfreenetworking.com. So make sure you book yourself in. So there we are. Anything else you want to know? Be quick because I'm going to be going. So I'll take a few slurps of tea while we do that. And wait to see if you've got a question. So some good questions today. Really enjoyed that. So there we are. So I'll be catching up with all those people later. There we are. And So this week is just wind down, really. It's wind down for Christmas, so pretty much packing up this weekend. Hamza says top of the morning to you. Well, likewise, Hamza, top of the morning to you. Oh, here we are. So there we are. Steph is back with another question. If you raise cash via revolving credit facility we talked about earlier, can you then borrow 75% against a new purchase with another bridger? Yes, you can. Yeah, yes, you can, Steph. That's why it's so amazing, isn't it? So you could, if you wanted to, use the revolving credit facility as just 25% deposits. Yeah, and you could even do a refurb bridge. So you put use the revolving credit facility as your 25% deposit. You borrow 75% plus 100% of the refurb costs on the property you want to buy. Brilliant, isn't it? You see, finance is amazing when you understand it. You can play at such a different level, and I find that pretty much everyone gets this revelation. If you're still watching, where are we? Trying to scroll back here. If you're still watching, Richard, yeah, there we are. If you're still watching, Richard, you know, Steph's done my training a few years ago, mine. She could do with a refresher, but it's totally changed the way she's thinking about property, and it does to anyone else. But I'll give you a lot of enlightenment onto that. Hamza said, thanks, mate. You're very welcome. Brilliant. It is. It's brilliant. You're still here, Richard. Great. Good stuff. So there we are. Yeah. You know, I'm going to share a lot of stuff with you at the boardroom on how you can leverage finance to play a much bigger game than you think you can right now, with the resources you've got available. So there we are. And if you can get along to the Pitch Free Network in 10th of January, even better. Good. So there we go. I think we're about done. So I'm going to come back and when is it? When is the first Monday in January? Let's have a quick drill down on my calendar. Let's have a look. It's the 5th. There we are. Monday, the 5th of January. So that's my next time. And you know what? Hey, we'll be past the shortest day of the year and the nights will be getting brighter and longer. So how good is that? Yeah, you're really welcome, Richard. And thanks for your connection today. Really enjoyed it. Good. Absolutely. Oh, this is nice testimonial. Thank you, Steph. Highly recommend to everyone. Kevin Scholes did 2 short lease deals. Yes, you did. There we are. So let's go back to right back to the beginning. Right here. Don't know if you're still watching. If you are, I told you about short lease flats, didn't I? Oh, Steph did a couple of those. After I taught her how to do them, she's done a couple of those, and I've got loads of people that I've trained that have done deals with short lease flats. So it's a cracking opportunity to do stuff if you don't want to do construction works and builders. There you go. Steve, hello, Steve. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. How are you finding lenders' valuations? We find them very reserved and harder to get money back out. Yeah. Now, funny enough, I was talking to Isaac in WP Brokerage about this a few weeks ago, and he said he sees a clear difference in the valuations between those people like Steph that have done my training and those that haven't. Because one of the things I do using my 20 plus years experience of brokering mortgages is I have a formula for getting higher valuations, and people that I've trained with know how to get it, and they consistently get higher valuations than the should we call them ordinary clients that Isaac deals with in the brokerage, i.e. people that haven't done the training. It's not saying that it eliminates down valuations. You can still get them, but you make it harder when you put a comprehensive case together, Steve. You make it harder for a valuer to down value the property by as much. So we are finding them reserved, but when you put a comprehensive case together for the uplift in value you've created, you'll still get most of your money out. Remember what I said to you? Hey Steve, look, I've been talking about pitch-free networking. Now, I don't know how long you've been in on this broadcast, but if you come along on 10th of January to Heathrow at pitchfreenetworking.com, it's underneath my name. You're going to talk to one of my mentees, Paul, and he's just got all his refurb money out, all his 25% deposit out, and 18k on cash on top. So if you're struggling to get that sort of result, get yourself along there, listen to my interview with him, and actually sit and talk to him, or stand and talk to him, and find out what he's doing that you're not. There you go. And actually, I'd love to see you. Can't remember if we've met or not, Steve, but it'd be nice to meet. Really nice to meet. So, if you can get to Heathrow on 10th of January, I'd really love to see you there, Steve. Good. Oh, you're going to be in Morocco, mate. All right, when's the next one? Well, the next one, I only do two a year. The next one's going to be middle of July. Unless you want to come along to one of the boardrooms. Remember, I'm doing BRR boardrooms back end of January. Hopefully you'll be back by the last 2 weeks of January. I'll be doing one in Cardiff. Are you down Devon way? Just trying to think. So there we are. Pop in, check out brrboardroom.com. If you can make one of those dates, then we can have a chat about that. But otherwise it'd be a summer barbecue, I think second Saturday in July. But, yeah, I thought you were. Well, I'm going to be. Are you back up if you're back by the 15th? I'm going to be in Cardiff on the 15th of January. Don't know if you're back by then or not. Maybe you're still in Morocco. Not a bad place to be fair, in January, is it? But there we are. Good. So, let me know. John, hey, how you doing? I was talking to someone over the weekend that knows you, Denise, John. She was did a BRR workshop. I think like you originally did as well. And she said she's been talking to you. You're 62. Is it easier to get a mortgage for a buy-to-let loan through a limited company than in one owner's name? No, it's not. Because mortgage lenders understand that the same criteria they apply to main residence mortgages doesn't apply to buy-to-lets. In other words, they get wary about buying, about granting mortgages that run beyond age 70, because most people will have retired by then, and their rental and their personal income will have diminished. Now, you can carry on renting out property in your 70s, 80s, even in your 90s. All you got to do is collect rent. There's no physical work involved, really. So there's no age restriction with a lot of buy-to-let lenders. So do it in your personal name, do it in limited company. Doesn't make any difference, John. There you go. So good. Well, we're rolling on with stuff. I thought we were about finished, and we get another spurt of questions, which is great. I love answering questions. Here we are. So Are we done? Are we done? Oh, we got a couple of likes as well. There we are. So if you've enjoyed this, give us a like, and that always goes down well. So there we are. Been a very interesting session. I think we're going to wrap it up now. So if you have got a question, be really, really quick. There we are. Any specialist lenders for the ages? No, mate. Like I said, buy-to-let lenders know that you can collect rent into your 90s. So they're not interested in your age, really. So, you know, you're making a problem or you're imagining a problem where there isn't one. Good. Okay. But thanks for asking your question, because you got some clarity that maybe you didn't have before. And that's what we do here. That's why I run these little Q&A sessions, to give people clarity, because they can be harboring these sort of imaginary problems, but they're only a problem in your head. They're not a problem in reality. Here we are. Lively. Yeah, they can be lively, can't they? Yeah. And this one's been particularly lively today. So there we are. Good. As it's the last one of 2025, and I'm not going to be here next week, I'm going to wish you a happy Christmas. If you're watching this live, or you're watching the replay, and you're watching it before the 25th of December 2025, have a really nice Christmas in whatever it is you do around that time of year. Set yourself up for a great 2026. Book onto pitchfreenetworking.com. It's right underneath my name. Go back and watch the replay if you're looking at any of the other events. No, we talked about, actually, I'll give you one last link. Steph talked about, I misspelt that. Let's do it again. Steph talked about this Thursday night, 7 to 10 p.m. BRR workshops. So there we are. If you want a bit of virtual training, don't have to leave home. You can sit at home and do it on your laptop or your desktop or whatever, or even your phone, really. Just go to brrworkshops.com. It's £41 plus VAT. My colleague Melody will be hosting that. You get some condensed training from a BRR day from me. Just drop in there, and you'll join Steph and a few other people on there, 7 till 10 p.m. this Thursday, the 18th. There we are. That'll be the last one run on that before Christmas as well. So it's all a wind down week for Christmas, isn't it? There we are. So have a fun time, and I'll see you in 2026. Bye for now.